So the question for today, because we have a lot of people that sometimes they invest their own money. They may look at investment management from other key investment managers. What are some key decisions as you look out to 2026? Kind of what are some key decisions that people should be thinking about when they're looking at investments or money management?
Yeah, interesting. I mean, I think when we look at in the past, policy has kind of driven a lot of decisions or certainly discussions. Right now, I think economic growth is really based on kind of flexibility and adaptation to whatever is occurring currently.
Yeah, the current environment.
You got to play the ball where it lies, right?
You don't know what policy is going to be.
That's exactly right.
And it's going to change.
Yeah, it is. You start looking at inflation. Inflationary risk seems to be a little bit secondary now, where it was certainly top of mind and primary from that perspective.
It led the headlines for a long time. It seems like it's now, to your point, it's dropping down.
Yeah, I think it's still relevant, but it doesn't seem to be as a driving force and a significant factor. Bond markets are probably driving more of the interest rate environment than central banks.
That's really interesting because we talked a little bit about it in some of our previous discussions. The bond market is, as the Federal Reserve is lowering interest rates, we're not seeing it. And there's been times they've lowered interest rates and the actual real interest rates that we look at the 2 and 10 years, they're going up.
Yeah, I know.
What that's telling us is the bond market is dictating that. And I think that that's a really important indicator as we look forward.
You start looking at AI. I mean, AI is I would say more of a productive tailwind.
Yep.
When you're looking at some of the other factors here, labor, social headwinds, probably more in the near term would be more relevant and kind of right in our focus from that perspective. But overall, I think 2026 outlook is strong.
Yeah.
When you look at small business and the growth in that fact, how their sentiment here for small business owners, and just the overall kind of the feeling, it seems to be that it's going to be a positive year.
We've hit on small business optimism, which drives CapEx.
That's right.
And CapEx drives markets.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so as we look forward, you never know what's going to happen. And I always remind people, right, as we do this outlook 2026, every year there's some form of pullback mid-year or some point in the year. Doesn't mean the markets aren't going to end up good, but they're never comfortable when it happens. But to your point, I think the outlook is good.
I think it's strong, and I think it's going to change. And I think as money managers here, obviously there was a big run in tech.
Yep.
Mag 7 here, we're driving most of the returns, right, in the S&P 500. The question is how much growth? I think we're going to continue to see growth in that sector. I think you'd be naive to think that's not going to continue. The question is how much, and where are the other opportunities to invest, and where have things not run? And so I know our committee's looking at a lot of different areas.
And I think the key to that is valuations, strong balance sheets, and being very stringent in what you do buy to make sure that there's a thesis and a reason, and you're not buying on hope. Be intentional.
That's right.
If you'd like to learn more, check out prevailiws.com.